Hello everyone, Hawky here, back with another Sword of Convallaria video. And Pooch Runrun, apparently that's her correct translated name, is finally out. And yeah, let's have a look at her skills. So I've got her in Wielder, Element, and Fortitude faction. And I did a bit of translations as usual, so let's have a look at this. Circus of Tears, huh? What's this? Increased physical defense by 20%. Possesses an aura with the effect of increasing continuous damage taken by all enemies within 3 tiles by 35%. Gain 10 layers of Hidden Ninja at the start of battle. Gain 2 layers of Hidden Ninja after being attacked by enemy. The Hidden Ninja is Forbearance. Reduces damage taken by 1%, can be stacked up to 20 times. And this is the bottom part. After being attacked by an enemy, forcibly select 3 enemies within 3 squares of your range and apply life loss equal to 30% of your physical attack for 2 turns. If there's only one target, life loss equal to 50% of your physical attack instead. Finally, apply 1 layer of infection and 1 random level 2 buff to the target lasting 2 turns. Effect can be triggered up to 4 times per turn. Okay. And then for 1 star, we have physical defense 10%, 15% continuous damage. So from 35, 15 to 35, okay. And physical defense is 10 and then raises up all the way to 20%. And then 3 enemies, 20 life loss is 25%. Okay. So it's still pretty good at 1 star. And then this is the basic skill. Blittable. Just throw some circus balls. Single target attack, 50%. What? 50% damage? Inflicting scar tearing equal to 80% of attack value for 2 turns, and 5 layers of liberation after the attack. Ooh, 5 layers of liberation is pretty nice. Yeah, scar tear, which is like DOT at the start of the turn. And yeah, this is the liberation. Each layer can release so crit rate by 2% up to 10% for each layer of liberation, and then can stack up to 20 layers, and it's used for the liberation skills. Alright, an eye-catching appearance. 1 cost, 3 cooldown. Yeah, this is a liberation skill. Charge to the target location, inflicting scorn to all enemies within 2 squares of you for 1 turn. The scorn is a debuff, controlled immobilization type, increases the enemy speed by 100. The target cannot be controlled and can only attack the castle with normal attacks. So this is basically a taunt for them, and then sarcastic, yeah. Alright, that's pretty cool. You enter focus on the stage. So when attacked by a single target, consume 10% of your current health to perform dodge. Oh, this can be triggered up to 4 times and cannot be dispelled or immune. So you lose like 40% of HP to dodge 4 times. You also gain damage reduction 3 and damage reduction penetration 2 for 2 turns. So reducing damage taken by 30%. Oh, that's a piercing immunity, reducing penetration damage by 20%. If you have the following release stacks, the corresponding number of stacks is consumed and the effect is triggered. So this is the liberation layers. So if you have 10 stacks, you gain damage over time 1, DOT 1. Increases damage over time effect by 10% for 2 turns. During focus on the stage, the number of dodge triggers increases to 8, and no HP is consumed. So just 8 dodges. Skill cooldown is reduced by 1, and it's like a 2-turn cooldown. Damn, that's a pretty tanky skill. The show begins. So this is another liberation skill. When it shows release the shackles, it means there's like 2 separate effects, essentially. 3 cost, 2 cooldown here. Oh wait, did I copy this twice? No. Did I forget the top part of this? Wait a sec. Alright, we're back. So this was the other effects. Okay. Show begins. Charges target location, dealing 50% to all enemies within 2 tiles of stealth. After the attack, the target is inflicted with Scar Rend, which is that Scar tier dot at the start of the turn, equal to 60% of physical attack. You get damage 2, so reducing damage by 20%. Vulnerability penetration 2, increasing... Oh, enemy gets debuffed, is it? Vulnerability penetration 2, increasing piercing damage taken by 20%, and 2 random level 2 debuffs for 2 turns. So we gain 5 layers of forbearance. For every 10 layers of hidden forbearance after this skill attacks, additional Scar Rend equal to 20% of physical attack is inflicted. So forbearance, which reduces the damage taken, and that triggers more DOT damage from Scar Rend, Scar Tier. If the following release stacks in place, so at 10 stacks, gain continuous damage 1 for 2 turns. Skill energy requirement is reduced by 1, so 2 cost. After attacking, the skill cooldown returns to 0. Oh, so you can sort of spam this skill once you have enough liberation. You still need enough liberation, right? So then you probably need to run... I mean, you can run that basic skill at the start, or you need to run Lukama. Okay. There's so much word salad here. Intermission, 1 cost, 2 cooldown. Recover 100% of your attack. Gain attack 2, damage reduction 3, and 2 dodge, lasting 2 turns. Nice, nice. Dance of Excitement. Instant, gain 10 stack of Liberation, dispel 2 debuffs, gain attack 2, and immune to attribute debuff for 2 turns. And this is a 3-turn cooldown. Oh, just use this to gain Liberation stack. So your skills are pretty much all filled, like with all these skills, right? Attack 2, yeah, there's not much to it. And then this is the reaction skill, is it? Of passive. Fantasy and Chaos. At the end of this action, if there are no allies within 2 squares of your range, gain 1 dodge, which lasts for 1 round. When dodge is triggered, you can counterattack against enemies within 3 squares of your range, dealing 30% physical damage and applying life loss equal to 30% of your physical attack value, lasting for 2 turns. Okay, pretty interesting. Like, I feel like we need to see these effects in battle, right? So we jump into the trial and see how this plays out. Alright, we'll just skip the story. Okay, so we need to charge in, right? So, oh, she has an infection skill. She can give rabies. Okay, so more skills in the trial. Hearing Strike, single target, 60% physical damage, inflicts scar tearing, 20% of target's physical attack on the value for 2 rounds. Quinsha Hidden Shadow, at the end of action. Gain damage reduction 2, which lasts for 1 turn. After taking damage and being in dying state, gain dodge, which can be triggered an unlimited number of times during the duration, lasting for 1 turn. Effect has cooldown of 7 turns. Infinite dodge. 7-turn cooldown. When you're dying though. Sharp Blade Change. Increases damage by 10% when attacking. Increases damage by 10% when attacking outside of a turn. After attacking, additionally applies attack 2 and heal to the target for 2 turns. Heal block. And attack 2 down. Okay. Alright. So let's see this play out. So we'll just charge here, right? And then forces everyone to attack you. And then you got the dodge counter. That's a pretty big counter range, right? Oh, just any 3 targets, is it? Within range, okay. So any 3 targets within like 2 range sort of thing. Do I just attack this one and rest with die to dot? I mean, scar tearing, is it? Damn, this is a nice take. And then, does the skills change? No, it's still the same set of skills. So we charge ahead and... Alright. And then they're dying to the scar tearing, right? At the start of the turn, they're just dying to the early dots. Counter. What... Do we charge again? you counter and then die to the Scar Tearing. Man, dots at the beginning of the turn is so cool. Alright, so I guess that's it. That's Pooch Runrun. I forgot to look at her equipment last time, so we'll have a look at this. Okay, so it's a Trinket. Truth Elegy. Increases attack and defense by 6%. If you have 10 layers of liberation before using your professional skills, which are the 3 class skills you can change, you gain Returning Determination 5, which increases your attack and defense by 10%. Oh, so it's like a 16%. Oh, but you need that 10 stacks of liberation, so it's only really for any element characters. When attacked by an enemy with a counter to your stat, or counter to your roll, increases your defense by 15% for 2 turns. Oh, that's pretty solid. And then it's like 2%, 2%. Okay. What do you guys think? Pooch Runrun. I feel like she's a dodge tank, right? Bit of counters, bit of DOT, a bit like Luffy in a way, OG Saphir in a way sort of thing as well. He has that infinite dodge, but once, 7-turn cooldown and activated dying. I don't know. Sukuna? Are you guys gonna get her? I'll see you guys next time.